Just got a couple of things I want to point out on the touch screen. I just want to get straight into it. Just a couple of things that I've looked at throughout this game. First of all, I want to show Azza out of sync initially early. Now, this is the important sign. It's going to change a couple of times as we go. Just a couple of things to watch. His footwork, and also just watch the bat swing and see where it comes from, where it goes, and how it gets around. When a batsman first arrives at the crease, sometimes that bat just swings like a pendulum a little bit. So let's just delete that. And we'll play this. You'll see that he's just a little bit out of sync. He's not quite as triggered as he would like to be. The feet are not moving perhaps all that well. That wasn't too bad. But watch the bat getting a little bit sloppy in his hands now. The foot isn't in exactly the right position. And I'm just going to pause it here before we play this last one, because this is when the barn door, if you like, he comes into play, where he's just going to swing that bat across the ball, and eventually he's just going to get it out the way at the last minute and he's going to be okay, right? So it comes across where it shouldn't. Another one where it comes across, but now he's finding his rhythm. So you'll notice here that I've changed that sign. Finding rhythm, playing better, his feet are moving better. But I think more importantly also, just watch his head. When he plays the shot, he's right over the top and everything's going nice. The feet are going right back and he's playing these drives perfectly and he's got his game in order. So initially, he didn't quite get it right, but then he did get it right. And I think that's a really important lesson to learn, that if you don't quite get it right initially, you just got to stick at it a bit and make sure you play well and keep just sort of grinding a bit, because it took him a long time, some 40 odd balls to get past the 7 mark, and then of course he went on to get a terrific 100, so he really played nicely. So what have the Australians had to work with? There hasn't been a great deal of movement in this ball, but I'm going to show you some things that they've had to work with, and these are just to highlight. You're going to see some red streams. Okay, sorry, you're just going to see some red streams of some balls that are going to be seaming, some that are going to be swinging, and some that are going to be reversing. So watch those streams as we play, and there's going to be various balls. This one from Hazelwood, so that's just seaming a little bit. This is early yesterday, these balls. Just a little bit, just enough, just coming back a fraction. That was the wicket, which also was reverse swinging, but also seemed a fraction. And this was Stark getting a little bit of movement also. Some late movement back in. And that also swinging from Stark, and then Green getting a little bit of reverse. Now, Green's an important character, I think, for Australia, not just now. He's just a youngster, but obviously going forward, he's going to be someone that they're going to have to look to work with pretty well. And I just want to highlight how difficult it is with someone like Cameron Green. Now, he's somewhere around about 6'5", 6'6", so he's a big lad. He can bowl at his quickest, 140 k's per hour, perhaps a little bit quicker than that at times. If you've got someone who's bowling around 140 k's per hour, and reverse swinging the ball both ways, at that height, you've got a serious handful. So let's have a look at this from Cameron Green, and I'll give you a nice little indication of the work that he was doing. Red streams, that's what I like to call them. These are reverse swing deliveries, the red stream away, and the blue stream in swing reverse. So they're all reverse, but this is tough work when someone's bowling the same sort of length, 6'5", 6'6", at 140 k's per hour. So that's really interesting stuff from Cameron Green. So they haven't had a great deal to work with, but I think Australians have done a pretty good job. The best thing they did, I think, was the start of the day in the first session, long session, 2.5 days, the start of the test match, where they gave nothing. They really bowled in the right lines and right lengths initially and kept it tight, and the Pakistan batsmen didn't get away for the entire day 1, but they just started to get away, obviously, in day 2, and they got themselves in a commanding position.